If I was to ask you how your boundaries are in your relationship, what would be your instinct to say? If you would say they're good, would you say they're bad? Would you say, I don't really have boundaries in my relationship? Here's the deal. Every relationship has boundaries, whether we are aware of them or not, whether they have ever been said out loud or not. They exist, they are there. And usually they favour the more dominant person in the relationship. They favour the person that is more ready to be in control or more ready to take advantage of those boundaries. What this might mean for you is it might mean relationships where at first you feel maybe a little bit taken advantage of, but as time goes on, you start to feel maybe worthless, undervalued. You possibly start feeling resentful. And when that happens, or even ideally before that happens, this is a clear sign that it is time to address those boundaries because they are not serving you. Now, if you are used to being the person on, let's say, the lower end of these boundaries, if you are used to being the least dominant person in the relationship and therefore having boundaries that serve the other person over you, at first, you might not even notice this. At first, it might look like the other person's always asking you to do stuff and you're happy to do that stuff because it feels good to be wanted. It feels good to be useful. And perhaps at first, early stages in the relationship, and by relationship, I don't just mean romantic relationship here. I mean friendships. I mean working relationships. But in those situations, the other person may even start off being tremendously grateful. It's very common. They're very grateful, and the gratitude you receive is equal to the favour or the task you have done. Honestly, I feel if it were to stay like that, as someone who's been in this position myself, I feel like if it was to stay like that, if the person opposite me was equally as grateful as the magnitude of the thing that I have done for them, I probably could do it forever. I could probably, the reward of that gratitude and the feeling of accomplishment I get from that would be equal to the effort that is going in, and all would be great. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work out like that, does it? What happens over time is the person begins to, whether they're doing it deliberately or not, they begin to act in a way that makes you feel like they're taking advantage of you or taking you for granted. The expressions of gratitude either don't feel enough for the level of the magnitude of the favour, or they just disappear completely. We get used to the way people behave with us, and what we might be grateful for at first just ends up being something that we expect. And when again you're the person who's always doing things, these boundaries are not working for you. And at that point, the idea is to confront the person and to talk about these things, to bring it up and work on re-establishing the boundaries. But one of the core reasons you won't want to do this is because that is a tremendously uncomfortable experience. You are maybe sitting back and thinking, I'm just gonna let these boundaries be the way they are because challenging the status quo is too scary. It's too uncomfortable. So I'm going to push my feelings to one side today, the next time this comes up, the next time this comes up, and you're going to keep pushing those feelings down. All of this is so each day that you push those feelings down, you are making a choice in that moment to choose your short-term comfort, not having to have the confrontation, not having to deal with this conversation. You are giving that preferential treatment over the long-term comfort of having this boundary changed. And at the same time, by pushing aside that short-term discomfort, because it is not comfortable confronting somebody, it is not comfortable having difficult conversations. They're called difficult conversations for a reason, but it's not comfortable doing that. But what will happen, you might find it's okay to push those feelings down today. You might find it's okay to push those feelings down for a week at a time, a month at a time. But over time, eventually, you're going to be pushing those feelings down so much, they're not going anywhere. They're not getting dealt with. They are amassing in your core. And one day, those feelings, that resentment is going to bubble up so much that there's no escaping it. You're not going to be able to escape it. And by choosing to avoid today's discomfort, you are almost certainly guaranteeing yourself bigger discomfort next week, next month, next year. So it's important to have those difficult conversations. It's important to sit down with that person and say, when in our relationship it feels like things are getting very one-sided, and right now the level of which you're asking from me is not working for me. I don't feel comfortable doing that much or doing that many things for you for nothing in return. I need to either do less, and I need you to be okay with me doing less, or I need for you to do more for me in return. This relationship needs to be more two-sided. Now look, these are difficult conversations, and they're not always going to go easy when they do happen. You might get pushback. The idea of a lot of these boundary systems is the boundaries favour the person who is more dominant. And when we try to change those boundaries, if we are dealing with a reasonable person and that person didn't realise the boundaries had just slipped into this level, then it's great. We can usually fix that. And they'll go, okay, I didn't realise that was what was going on. I'm sorry, I'll make some efforts to be better. Like, have a clear game plan on what better would look like for you in that situation. But if you are unfortunate enough to have the conversation where it does go sideways, the person pushes back, the person is annoyed, they are upset at you for raising this, that is unfortunately a tremendously clear sign that that person is probably never going to have your best interests at heart, especially not right now. And that person is either someone, hey, look, if it's a relationship, a romantic relationship, this might be the place to bring in things like mediation or counselling. But if it's a friend, I hate to say it, this might be the beginning of the end of that friendship. But again, just how you might short term not want to lose that friend to avoid that painful situation of the confrontation and the experience of losing that friend, you will know in your heart whether, if this carries on the way it is, if a change is not made, whether you are going to build up so much resentment to this person that the relationship is just untenable anyway. So it's a question of choosing a clear cut today or a slow, painful cut in 5 years, 10 years. It's so important that we start to learn this and we start to know this, because honestly, if you do not start to take control of the boundaries in your life, you will always attract in people that will take advantage of you. And yes, it's so scary to actually begin working on this stuff, but actually once you do and you get some success with it with some people, you will find it so much easier to implement with everybody else. And this is going to give you relationships that are more two-sided and more beneficial to you in the long run. And honestly, it's just worth it, isn't it?